Hey, good evening, everyone.
Oh, look at there. He's right on time.
Yeah, we got him in, didn't we? I think out in the calving barn or something.
Yeah, I had a little issue. You know, you got to love those cows that, you know, when they have a calf and they want to beat the piss out of it and they just sit there and do that right up against the fence. So I had to do a little, go back to my high school athleticism and try to get the calf away and put it in the little bit ways away. So sorry about that, boys.
Huh?
Sorry about that. I made it though.
No problem.
That's okay. I completely understand that.
Clayton freeze up there? Looks like he's froze up, huh, Scott? Huh? You're all froze up on there, Clay.
At least he froze up with a smile on his face.
Yeah, he did.
I am done. Can you hear me? I'm frozen.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, your voice. Yeah, we can still hear you. Your video's just froze up.
That's odd. Oh, gotta love it.
So
go ahead. I can't see.
Oh, I was just gonna say, first thing we're gonna hit on tonight is well, I guess I might have to do it with my phone here since Clay's froze up.
Guys, I'm gonna go out of this. I'll come back in and see what's going on.
Yeah, and we're gonna go over the poll we had about how often you zero your scope in.
I can't wait to hear this because I seen it. I did not answer because my answer wasn't there.
Yeah, which is good. Which is because I actually have mine. My exact answer was not on there either, Scott. So we did have over. By the way, we got everybody's chatting in here now. Let me get to a few of these comments here. I'm going to get my chat up on my personal one here on my computer. And Trampus Brenner, good evening. Josh, good evening, buddy. Hey, Trampus and Josh. Clayton said, Brian Warner, good evening, my fellow NVE. Dan Brown, good evening from the Western Edge. Appreciate all you guys tuning in here. And like I said, we're going to hit our guest tonight, Scott Bachmeier, Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Scott, appreciate you joining us, buddy, as usual.
Thanks for having. Appreciate that.
You bet. Scott was having a little trouble with the calf and the mama there, but he manhandled it, did the cowboy thing on it, and he's here with us, came in just in time. Clay was having some difficulty there. He froze up. So, like I said, the poll we had was how often – and I'm going to go to X here first. I messed up on X. Usually I leave it on there longer, but I only had it scheduled for whatever it was, 24 hours. But we're going to go to how often do you check the zero on your rifle scope? Weekly, monthly, before hunting season, or waste of time and ammo? So weekly. And we'll let you know what we said. Scott said his answer wasn't on there, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll let Scott explain that when we're done. Evening, Levi Nelson. Thanks for joining, buddy. I see
he's on nights now.
Yeah,
Levi's on nights.
A big thing of I don't know what kind of steaks he was cooking up there. Some sort of wild game, I guess. Does he even eat his own beef there? Or does he just?
It looks like some vegan stuff that he had going on there. I don't know what that
was. So weekly. This is on our X page here at Guns in the 701. Weekly 0, monthly got a 14%. Scott, by far and away here before hunting season, 71%. Waste of time and ammo, 15%. So weekly,
71% was a waste of time and ammo.
15%. It was a waste of time.
15. I thought you said 71. I was like, holy
nope.
Cow.
71 is before hunting season.
I brought it up. There you go.
All right, Clayton's got the Facebook one there, man. We had 92 votes there on Facebook, 14 on X. So yeah, so on Facebook, weekly 3%. And I'll get to the comments on here too. I'll just give you the percentages first. Monthly 17%. Before hunting season, even more than X, 77%, and zeroing is a waste of time, 3%. So, all right, Clay, did you vote in this one? Which one did you vote on?
I did vote in that, and I actually do mine monthly.
Okay.
Now that I have my range up here.
Okay.
Now, it might not always be my deer rifle, but for the most part, it's my main ones, my 220 Swift, my 270. Yep. Lately, though, I've been shooting that lever action so I can be redeemed.
Awesome. Love it. Because one of the comments was Gene Cox, and he said, who uses scopes?
So, I'm sure Gene said that.
I did vote. I voted monthly. It wasn't exactly, exactly. I was kind of like Bill said in the comments there. He said whenever his starts missing easy shots, or whenever he takes his can off and puts it back on or does something with the scope. But I pick monthly because usually whenever I shoot, if I go to the farm or even if I go to Dougie's and I'm going to do something, I check the zero on it. If I get there and I don't have time to do it, I won't check it. But eventually throughout the weekend, and I don't necessarily have to put up a piece of paper and shoot a group. I'll pick out one of the gongs like at 110 and take a couple cracks in the middle. I mean, I just like to shoot. So I pick monthly, but I tell you what, if I lived on a ranch like you and Scott, it would definitely be weekly. Eric Newman said a weekly because he usually shoots at prairie dogs or coyotes all the time, and he's checking the zero. So Scott, you said yours wasn't on there. What would you say?
I think it really depends on what you're shooting. So, however you are. So right now I've been carrying my 6.5 Creed, and I carry that probably 11 months out of the year in my vehicle. And I use that from everything from shooting prairie dogs, coyotes right now, since I'm calving, and even deer hunting and antelope hunting. You've seen that. So the only time I will re-zero that is if I missed like a really easy chip shot that I thought, what's going on here? Why did I miss that? Because I'm shooting at least something every week, right? I mean, I'm shooting at something every week. So for that rifle, it's like very rare that if I miss, like the other day, I had a chip shot at 547 yards on this coyote, and I shot the tip of his bottom jaw off, and I'm like, what the hell happened there? So I brought it back and I double checked zero there, and it was me, but if I grab any other rifle out of the corner of my house or the gun cabinet or the safe, I will zero it before I use it on whatever I'm going to use that for. Mm-hmm. But if you keep one in your vehicle like I do 90% of the time, 99% of the time, that's usually, you're shooting that all the time. So it's kind of, it always varies depending on which rifle you're going to grab.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. So monthly, well, during the winter months, it might not be exactly monthly, right? But I might be shooting at a coyote, kind of like what Scott's talking about.
Yeah, winter's definitely less for me.
And I usually got my Swift. My Swift is always in the pickup when I'm out feeding and out checking stuff. And I snipe quite a few varmints when I'm out there feeding.
Yeah. Well, so the number one answer easily was before hunting season, and
which is good to see that, because I've seen a lot of people come out here elk hunting, and they're like, "Well, I borrowed this rifle from my buddy, and he said it was zeroed in."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hear that crap. Yeah. I even think, Scott, before hunting season, I think if you're not a big shooter and you are a big deer hunter, I think throughout the summer you should go out at least once a month to the range with 20 rounds, be it the range, the public range or a private range or your friend's place, whatever. And I think you should shoot that sucker out to, 400 yards even in North Dakota, whether you think you're going to go that far or not. And then right before deer, I like to go right before deer season, because the temperature will change the impact of your bullet. So if you can find some point a month before deer season starts, you can get like a 30-degree morning or an evening or even 45, 50 degrees, get out and take your gun to the range, put it in the back of your truck, and make sure it cools off and your ammo to the air temperature, so you don't pull it out by the heater, because I guess if you're a big road hunter, that might work for you. But, take it out, leave it there, and shoot it at the range in the temperature you're going to be hunting in, because like I said, cold weather, I talked about that on one of my Saturday. It knocks your bullet down. Cold air, it defies my logic, but cold air is more dense, and your impact will be lower in colder weather.
It's funny you mention that now, because with my Burris scope that I have, the reason now that you just mentioned this is, you have to take in consideration of temperature, and everything's put into that Burris scope.
Yeah.
And I still have it set at I think it's like 0 or 10 degrees because all the winter hunting. And now it's 45, 50. It's going to be like 80 tomorrow down here. It's going to be crazy, right? So I might have to do a little bit of a recalculating, which is why I want to get the new Burris 6. It automatically does that.
Those are nice. I looked at them.
Yeah, awesome, that's my next one.
And Levi, it's kind of funny you mentioned it, because Levi Nelson, he asked, "You guys use a Kestrel?" Yes, I have used a Kestrel. I actually started using them when I was on the fire department, so we could take windage readings. But they are great. You can take your windage and then you just pipe it into your stray lock. That's what I used to do. Yeah, them new Burrises, Scott, I like them. I gotta say.
So a Kestrel, if anybody doesn't know, it's a wind meter.
Yeah,
it don't have to be
I don't use one. I feel what it's like on the side of my face, and I poke and hope.
Yeah. You know what a good thing to do is you can, and if you look it up, there's a deal. I mean, numerous things you can see it like wind reading them off the leaves. It gives you pretty good like how the leaves are fluttering, and I mean it'll tell you 10 mile an hour, 0 to 5. They're actually pretty good. I mean, I've looked at it a few. I'm like you though, Scott. If it's hit me in the face, I'm like, yeah, that shit's like 12, 13.
Yeah. Well, a tough thing though too. Sort of interrupt here on you, Clay, but it depends on where you're shooting. If you're shooting on like flatter terrain or rolling hills, that's a pretty consistent windage. I took a shot at that one coyote. I mean, that son of a gun was across 3 different draws, and all of those. You can imagine what that wind was doing, swirling all the way through that whole thing. So I wonder how accurate that would be.
Yeah, I mean, out of distance.
I'm guessing. Yeah,
wind's a factor. It always is. Look at Axis range, Jamie, when we're up there. I mean, that's crazy how that swirls in there.
So to the northwest on Axis, I mean, it's probably one of the highest points in Morton County, and the wind comes up and down that sucker, and then there's a few more dips in one of them, and the other one just a flat wheat field. I mean, it's kind of a divot in the middle of it, but then it comes back up. So you're getting that wind, it'll picking up speed and slowing and level. I mean, I'm actually surprised if we sit there. Sometimes he's got that flywheel out at 600. I think them guys are hitting that. We were out there that you can. So, I mean, just from where we're sitting to going down lower and up by the fence out there, his range goes out to like 1800 or whatever. But
well, getting back to Levi, we're talking about a Kestrel or a wind meter in general. Yes, I've used them. But you got to remember, too, depends on what I'm shooting. Am I shooting my Swift? Like when I'm on a Dogtown, I don't have it with me, do I, Jamie? But remember, we were shooting into a pretty bad breeze, and it was lifting my bullet.
Breeze? That's
that wasn't a breeze. It was, but what was it, 20-some miles an hour?
It was, I think sustained it was like 27 or something.
But then when you take, a heavier bullet with a heavier gun and maybe out to 100, 200 yards, well, then, I mean, it all depends on what you're shooting, where you're shooting, and I would say bullet.
Well, I like this comment Doug says too. Use the ammo you're going to use for hunting, because I know tons of people. I don't know. It's 100. What are you shooting? I don't know. I got a Winchester and a Remington and a Hornady, and I'm like, really, dude? I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard that story. Well, I don't know why the hell I hit him in the ass or I gut shot him, and I'm like, because you're using freaking different. So to this day, it blows my mind that people who own guns don't know that different ammo a lot of times will impact in difference. I mean, it might be, if you got a good barrel, it will probably stay relatively close, but if you got an average barrel,
I have to make one comment on that.
Go for it.
All my ammo is used to hunt. Every damn one of it. So use the ammo you're going to hunt with. That's everything I own is going to be used for hunting.
My hunting ammo almost all the time is the same shit I shoot at freaking
Exactly.
Steel,
same thing. I don't buy anything that's like, oh, that's on sale or that's cheaper. I don't care. I want the same stuff that's going to be shot through my rifle. I want the same consistency all the time.
And following it, I mean, everything I reload is my hunting ammo. I mean, I built that load for that gun for the purpose of hunting.
I mean, you owe it to the damn critters you're killing to make it as ethical and quick as possible if you're going to shoot them.
Except for that one coyote. I don't care about him.
You guys. Oh, we had the question about taking out coyote pups, and you guys are like, no, I don't. I was a way minority on that. I'm like, nah, I let them go, and all you guys are like, no, it doesn't matter. Smoke them.
The only thing I didn't reload, Jamie, was up there for the Steel Challenge. I was using the 30-30. That's ammo I bought. And, I mean, otherwise, all my stuff, like Scott said.
I got to be up when I did that too with the irons. I actually just used, because I shot some FMJ stuff. Remember when Walmart quit selling 223?
Oh yeah, because
I bought 2 big, huge cases of Federal because it was a smoking deal, and I'm like, okay, but that stuff actually it didn't group quite as well as my ballistic tips, but right about an inch, and it hit in the same spot. So I was like, I'll use this, and it was a little faster actually too. So
you should put a one of those surveys up that says, why does, when Jamie hosts a hunt or Steel Challenge, why does he always keep winning all of them?
I lost the first 3, man.
I thought you won.
Not the first 3. I lost the deer one. I had my Grendel, the prairie dog one. Eric won that. I just missed it. Of course, the second round we all went through and lit everything up, and then a couple of us hit the golf ball at 200. And then the third one, the coyote challenge, I'd left the ranch the day before, and 300 yards, I shot 3 rounds about the size of a tennis ball, and sure as shit, the first time up, I went low and right. And then, of course, after that, I was right on the money. But I guess I need to shoot iron sights like Gene more often, right?
Well, you gotta remember the iron sights, Jamie. You didn't hit dead on your first one, but you were enough to stay in the competition, and then you come back.
So me and Dougie when we were shooting before that, the weekend before, I thought it was off, and then Doug's like, put it on the bags before you dink around with your sights again. And I did, and it hit right dead center. So even at 50 yards, I could have flinched a little bit and it was off. But yeah, right after that, it was, well, it was money.
Do you shoot much for open sights anymore, Scott?
Not really anymore.
I can tell you this. My eyes are going.
Yeah.
I'm wearing readers now, and that made a hell of a difference when I'm looking out there at the end of the barrel versus my front sight. Yeah.
So the reason I got away with that, the iron sights, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but everything that I'm shooting anymore is so much further.
Yep.
And when I'm glassing now, I mean, I'm glassing a mile away and seeing where I need to put myself. But that's just because we have so many predators right now. It's just unbelievable.
Hey, you guys are crazy. It's crazy up your way.
The toolbox has not been allowed for the ranchers to protect according to the Century Code of North Dakota. So
you're absolutely right there.
Yeah.
And they're so worried. And I can remember the last time I went and talked to anybody who on this, their biggest fear is, they're going to use it during the big game season. I said, well, someone's going to break the law doing that anyway. What's stopping them now? They just have this dumb look on their face.
There's no big game season on March 15th.
That's right.
I'm sorry, and wait. Okay, if they want to, from September 1st till the end of November, you want to do away with thermal. Okay, I'm fine with that, but I don't know why you need to take away. Why do you have to take away? I don't want to get into this right away. You guys have other things.
No, it's fine. This is good. It's subject too, but the idea that them making restrictions on thermal because of this reason or that reason is ludicrous, because those guys that are hell-bent on breaking the law anyway, they're going to do it whether there's a rule or not. You might as well let the private property owners have another tool to protect their private property, that being land, livestock, or anything.
Okay, so thermal, I can't snare right now. I can't use thermal. Snaring's illegal right now. Okay, unless you're a Fish and Wildlife Service, they're the only ones that can do that. And then
only ones,
right? And then South Dakota, I got a good friend down there and a good friend out of Glendive that can come over and hunt coyotes with planes that they can shoot them really, really good out of, but can't use that, even though I'm right. So they take away 3 of the biggest tools that I need to use in my place. And that's just asinine. It really is.
It's ridiculous. Get a little strychnine, throw it in them dead ones when they get them, and take them out.
And they took away cyanide too from Fish and Wildlife. They took away all the good stuff. Yeah.
That stuff's still floating around out here, though.
I'm sure it is.
We'll find out about what they're doing to landowners a little, not too far future in the show here. Levi said his Kestrel, that actually does all his MOAs and all that, which I'm going to talk about here shortly, guys, before we do that.
No, I like a Kestrel. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's a nice tool to have. But,
Josh says I shot iron sights better than I shot my scoped rifles, and I never
he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he won the round for all the gift certificates there. Waylon Turnus, hey, what's up, buddy? Said getting in late, no problem. Dead Wolf Resistance 13. Very likely my iron sight days are over. I'm okay at 20 feet. Hey, man, get yourself a green dot, put it on there. Dot sights are money. I definitely would do that if my eyes went so. 18 wheels and a dozen 6-shooters. Coors Light, assuming fluid. That's why he wins. Love that Coors Light. I told Clay before. I said I'm on the wagon until next week's show. So Scott, I figured, Scott can go that damn long. I'm going to go at least 7 days. So I got water.
I stopped tonight after that cow.
Well, you made it quite a ways anyway.
I made it like almost 30 some 40 days. Yeah.
You got my Lauer Auto mug full of my favorite brew from my friends in Alabama, and it's a good night.
So, all right, you guys got anything else you got to add on this? If not, I think we take our first break, and I come back, and I got one more thing on scopes, and then we can get into I got a question on scopes.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It took a quick break. Thanks to Lauer Auto Repair, one of our original. We're bringing on a new one, Jamie. We'll be talking to him tomorrow. Kalen's Auto Service down there in Lemon. Of course, after what I spent on that 62, I suppose he figured he better do something.
Guilt him into it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Awesome. Gene's back. Just getting here late. I'm at the range shooting irons on the AR. Posted video. Awesome. Yeah, Gene's got that 20-inch kind of the M16 clone there. He's shooting it pretty good towards the end, but Josh just got him a little better, so.
Yeah, he did. He
shot the lever action pretty good too, to be honest. What was that comment Josh had there?
Oh, he said he took one into Bloodlines there, into Jake to get it threaded, going to Cerakote to trigger gold. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, well, he won that. He won the barrel threading, one of the prizes he won at the finishing off the coyote with the iron. So, talking about scopes, if anybody saw the scope, I did the 6.5, my 6.5 Creed. We did the video out at Axes there. Ended up shooting best ammo, and ended up being was the Hornady American Whitetail, which the last group we shot after we did the whole roundabout thing. But just over half inch, 5.56, I think was three shots because they guaranteed it's a Winchester XPR. But the scope is a Burris. I like Burris scopes. I have numerous Burris scopes. The full field, whichever model it is, with the drop reticles and the wind hold offs. But something was wrong with it, and I sent it into them a while back, and they said nothing was. But Doug looked through it, and he said, yeah, something's. But I think what I want to get is something that, I mean, I can shoot good out to 600 with the drops, but I might get something. I'm looking at something with something I can maybe go to 800,000 yards, and I'm not talking. What you need, JD, is something with MOAs, minute of angle. I'm not going out to the gun range to look at a fucking clock, and I'm not going out there to do fucking math. I'm going out there to shoot, so I don't want to. I need 2.5 minutes and 6 minutes of freaking wind. I don't want that bullshit. I want a scope. I can go from 0, I go to 800 yards, I go to 800. I don't dick around with MO. Well, what you need is mil dots. No, I don't need mil dots. I don't want none of that shit. I'm not a Navy SEAL sniper. I'm JD at the range. I'm out shooting shit. So I want something. Some kind of scope where I just turn the freaking yardage on the top, whether I got to send it in and get it etched or whatever. I don't know if anybody's got any recommendations for that. I'm not getting an MOA, and I'm not getting a mil dot. And if I can't, and I'm talking something like within the $600 range. I don't need
600. Yeah.
Yeah. $600, man. There's got to be a vortex or something that does it. I seen my buddy's got one that's 800, works perfect out to 800 yards. He's got with a 7mm mag. I've shot it. Works great.
Oh, I think Scott wants to say something.
Okay.
Get rid of those freaking scopes. Just, I mean, if you want something like that, Jamie, just spend the money, get the Burris 6, be done with it. And then, you know, everybody gave me
way
so
out
much.
of my tax bracket.
I don't give a shit. You guys have more sponsors than I do on my show. Freaking deal with it. All right. So here's the thing. You know, I bought that. I forget what Vortex I had at the time. The Vortex, it was like the most expensive scope they had. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent all the money on that. And I was like, okay, I set this up and got this zeroed. And then I got a rangefinder and this coyote's coming in. And all right, I got him at 500 yards. And I sit and look at my dope chart and I dial all this shit.
Well, yeah, I don't want that.
And then I look
shit.
at it again and, well, he's moved to 450. Well, I got to change this. And on the way back, I told Jesse, I'm like, why don't they just make a scope that has all this shit in it? And he's like, they do. So I switched, right? And you don't have to do the Burris 6. You can do the Burris 3, the Burris 4, the Burris 5. They're all cheaper than the 6. I get that. But I'm telling you, if you're looking at something that's quick, easy, and accurate, and everybody gave me a hard time to like, well, that's cheating if you have it in your scope. I'm like,
No,
you're range finding it anyway. And my range finder's
Yeah.
just built in. I don't have one thing to carry with me.
and the 6
you know?
right now, I'm looking right now. I'm get them for about $2,500. It looks like.
But look what the Burris 3. The Burris 3, you can get under like $800-900.
Yes, go down to the 4. They're 1,100, and that's a good scope.
Well, here's the deal with that. I'm not shooting the sea except for deer season, maybe once or twice long range, and so that's way
What's
too
wrong
much
with that?
money for that. I'm not spending that. I mean, I can use this for deer hunt. I mean, Dave figures. I hate to tell you, those scopes don't work well. The CDS is a sham just as well as an eliminator. I don't know, Dave. My buddy's got whatever Swarovski. That son of a bitch is. I mean, we were shooting milk jugs easy at 800 with that thing. I zeroed it in for him, and he sent in his little turret, and they etched the son of a bitch. I mean, that thing works. Works great.
I do. I love my eliminator. I have it on my Creed. I should put it on my
Fuddly,
Swift,
Doug does.
What's that?
Sounding fuddly.
Fuddly, yeah. Well, I do. I enjoy that scope. It's nice. You hit the button and boom. It takes care of the problem. Don't have to guess nothing. I do like it. Not that
I haven't bought a
I like
scope
shooting
that's
anyway.
been under $1,000. I don't think in the last 15 years.
Yeah, my scopes are. I don't remember the last time I paid only. Well, yeah, I do. The one I bought from you, Jamie, to throw on that one gun. I bought that, and it worked on mine after I got it. So, what the hell was that? I put it on that gun for the boys.
Yeah, it was some oddball thing, but yeah, you said it worked for you.
It worked.
So Dougie said veracity 8 Burris, veracity PH. Okay, pro hunter. I think I actually might have saw a backfire shooting that one. So
as long as you don't say that I'm going to buy a BSA. If you say that you're going to buy one of those, I'm going to have to just kick you in the head.
No way I'm getting one of those. Dave says milk jug's a big target at that range in his book.
Kevin, our Pennsylvania friend,
what's up,
good to
buddy?
have you with.
So yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna look. So the only advice I got from anybody is a veracity pH. All right. So yeah, Gene says JD just down an 18 pack.
Right.
Go online and get the Burris. The alcohol does the
I agree with him, man.
Perfect.
I agree.
Listen to the mayor. He knows what he's talking about.
I can tell you guys right now, there's no freaking way in hell I'm ever spending that much money on a freaking rifle scope.
I said same thing. I said the same damn thing.
That's what you shoot all the time, though, Scott. That's what I'm saying. I'm not shooting that thing that much.
I get it, but if you're in a situation where, I mean, hell, you've seen what happened to that antelope. I mean, it's just so much easier and quicker, and I think
I don't doubt that.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm also shooting. I mean, I'm looking through this Burris probably up to 20, 30 times a week, right?
Yeah.
Every week all throughout the year where I want to kill stuff.
And I mean, I shoot past 600 yards maybe 5 times a year. And
you can use a Burris down to 50 yards. It doesn't have to always be long range when the person thinks about these scopes.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend that much.
Yes,
I'm going to see how much his pH is.
You told me that you'd never have a 6.5 Creed. You were a 308 guy till the day you died. Eventually, you're going to have a Burris. I'm guaranteeing
Well,
it.
I gotta get in a different tax bracket, or sponsors gotta start coughing up more money. One of the two.
You know, you can use it as a write-off there, Mr. Guns in the 701. So just take it, like, do
Hell,
it.
I can deduct it. We can deduct predator control on our taxes with our.
Well, I guess I can just have my dad
I-
buy it.
I
He
do it
can
every
do
year.
that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You got buddies in the business. I mean, they can make a better deal than what it's manufactured suggested retail price is.
What we do is you do like we do with the NRA, Jamie. Call them up, tell them you're doing a banquet in Mandan, even though you're not. Have them send the certificate to you for the 60% off, and you're golden.
Yeah. Hey, I'll do whatever, man. It's just we'll see.
Yeah, we
I'll
used to
look at
get
his pH.
Their certificates, and for the banquet, so they handed them out like candy all the time.
My brother-in-law bought one years. I can't remember what it was for Ruger RPR and 6.5 Creed, and we zeroed it, and it had just the range, and we did shoot it to 7. I mean, it was shooting freaking great, but who knows that scope? I don't even think they make it anymore. But that was like $800. But he never did shoot it other than that day. So
I think the biggest thing is you and I we're all shooting differently.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So if I see a coyote, I mean, the last coyote I took was at 50 yards, right? It was a young pup, and he just ran right in front of me and stopped. I jumped out, grabbed my rifle. I didn't even push the button on the burris because I know it's good out to 100 plus. Shot it.
Yes.
Right. What you're looking at doing is maybe sitting on a bench, shooting on a gong or something like that. You maybe need to use it differently. For what I need something I can get out, put it on, hit a button, keep it in my scope all the time, and be able to shoot and be able to hit that predator. So I think it depends on what you're shooting and how you're shooting, what kind of scope you want to look at too.
yeah, well, I got the range finding binos now, so I don't.
But you have to take your eyes out of that and back into your scope. And if that coyote's going over a ridge or something like that, and you just take that 2 seconds to switch over, you lose that out of sight. And that's what I was having my issues with, is I was looking at a rangefinder and then trying to get in my scope, and it was two different magnifications going on, and I could not keep where that animal was going,
It's
especially
definitely
predator
hard.
animals. Yeah.
I agree with that for sure.
Well, and I know Scott's got a hell of a coyote problem up there versus what we got here, and probably even up in your area, Jamie. I mean, there's a lot of coyotes, but they're coming daily and nightly, Scott, taking calves.
It doesn't matter. The only time they didn't come in today was when it got a little bit warmer.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I don't have that going on here. But when you look at calves bringing 16, 18, $2,000 a head, sometimes
pay for a scope and hurry.
In a big hurry, and it isn't just the loss of a calf; it's the loss of the cow. Because I don't know about you, I don't run open cows, so that cow is going to be a loss. I got to replace that, plus all the time I fed it. There's a big loss when you lose a calf. So
right. That's why I said I think it's different for what profession you're in and what you're doing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's not necessary for me to protect cattle with, but
no,
yes, it is. You can come out and protect mine all day.
There you go. There you go.
18 wheels, a dozen 6-shooter says my cheap Arkin works good too. He just marked the turret with tape. And Dave says a basic dope chart I did for 308 wind years ago from -20 to 100. The drop at 750 at a 21-inch swing. He's talking about temperature there.
Yep.
The elevation plays a factor also. That's why the quickset knobs don't entirely work for precision use. Sure, most of the shooting will be done from 20 to 90, but still a factor. Right, and I mean, the only place my Cree's getting shot is out at our ranch. I mean, other than that, like I said, 95+% of the time I'm shooting 223. So, I mean, that's basically the deer rifle for me. And if I felt like shooting for, you know what, I'm probably just gonna end up getting a damn burris with the drops in it again, because I know I can freaking pump them into deer at 600 with that if I have to. So. And like I said, long range, neighbor guy comes down with his $5,000 rifles, and how far is that gong? And then he turns his little knobs and gets his thing out, and I pull the trigger and hit it in the middle, and that was neat, And Buddy's out there, he had his 308 out. I don't know how much he paid for that, same deal. And I mean, not that I think I'm freaking some great shooter, but I mean, if I want to shoot long range, I got guys with scopes that do that shit. So
let me ask you guys this question. What do you consider long range anymore?
Starts at 400 yards in my book.
I don't know. I consider anything at 1,000 yards, even 700 is long range. But a lot of people like Jamie, he's got 400. And let's be honest, 400 yards is a ways out there. Most people don't understand that. We've proven that many times, haven't we, Jamie?
Yeah. We did it in the deer. We did it in the deer steel challenge there. One guy hit it, and then we went out to 500, and then he never got close at that range.
So, I mean, you know what? Long range can be 200 for some people.
It's a long range, and you get in the forest up in parts of Minnesota, 100 yards is a long range.
Yeah,
right. So I mean, it all depends on where you're hunting and what you're accustomed
Dave
to.
says beyond 600, extreme long range, 1200. Yeah, I could get on board with that. I could get on board with that.
You know, I kind of got out of practice of doing it. I am consistently hitting my 500-yard gong out here now that I put it out there last year. I got my 700 out there now. I finally hit it, but I wouldn't say I can hit it consistently. I'll work on it. That's why, I mean, I've done a lot more shooting since I put a range up, and that's what you got to get out there and get behind your guns, plain and simple.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what gun. The time trigger time. You
Trigger
can do a
time's
17 HMR all summer long on the Prairie Dog Town, checking cows. That will still help you when you're going to be getting ready for elk or deer season. If you get drawn for a tag.
Yeah, get out there and get behind it and shoot. It's like anything else. You've got to practice. You don't just go do it.
Yeah.
Well, when I go over to Brandon's, we'll see what kind of deal he can give me there, man, down sporting goods and stuff.
I didn't make it over there today. I got the hell out of town after.
Well, you talked to that one scope guy who sent us a message. He never got back to you, huh?
No, because I told him we wanted product to try if we were gonna, pitch his stuff. And oh well,
you had her cash on the barrel. I had one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. There's Jacob. He's tuning in. There he is, right there. I got customers shooting out to 2,500 yards, but they're using prisms. So
yeah,
I don't know what that is, Jake.
Yeah. Oh, what the heck? There was a company went back when, they brought their scopes out. Trigicon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were big with the prisms on that. Yeah.
What's a prism? Oh, that's sort of. Oh, okay. I just I got you. All right, I got a prism now. So yeah, 18 wheels and dozen 6-shooters. He said there's only 2 places in 50 miles off my house you can even shoot at 500 yards. Oh, he's out on the East Coast, right? Where's he at? Yeah, he's got a bunch of trees around there, I suppose. So. And probably some hills, which out at my place, if you want to shoot that far, you just get out on a hill and then you can see about as far as you want if you want to go and hang a gong somewhere.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys want to do long range gongs. I'll have a place that I can set you guys up. And then we can
I'm all ears.
And then we can shoot prairie dogs and golf at the same time and drink beer and see who has the lowest score when we get done.
Yeah, I love it.
We do have our 1,760, which is the mile out at Wayland's now. And no, I did not hit it. I tried, but I've only done that one other time, and that was out in Wyoming in Riverton. But now David, David's listening. He grabbed a Savage 110, if I remember right. He'll have to correct me. I can't. It was not a fancy rifle. And
I think it was. I remember that he said that.
Axe was down there, and he finally, he got dialed in, and then he hit that baby. I mean, it's just cool knowing you can shoot that far.
Yeah. So one thing, there's a couple things you got to look at too. So the scopes, you have to take in your elevation too. If you're shooting downhill at a steep angle or uphill at a steep angle,
trajectory changes.
It changes dramatically. So again, why I like my Burris, because that takes that into effect. Now, every time I see 18 wheels and a dozen 6-shooters, he says he's in Massachusetts. I have this Rodney Carrington song come up in my mind, man. You guys know what song?
I don't.
Yes, I do.
Jamie, come on.
I don't know. I know Rodney Carrington, but
man, you gotta look for the song.
I'll have to look it up on the shows over here.
A dozen roses there in a pickup truck. A hubba. Hey.
Levi says they got a steel range at his place out to 830, which I think his nephew or something, like 10-year-old, was banging one there. What do you say, like an 8 or 10 inch target at 700 yards or whatever it was? He was hitting it the other day. I saw on Snapchat. So Eric says Coors ain't beer, man. It's water. I'm drinking water. I'm actually drinking real water tonight.
Show me any beer that's not made with water.
It's Rocky Mountain water, man. Jake's longest shot for me was 420 on a cow elk. I've never used any I've never needed any more than a trusty 270 win and 140 grain AccuBond for hunting.
I agree with him on that. That 270, 140 grain. I agree. That's nice.
And I love my 270. You know, you both have seen me with I love my 270. It's the first rifle I ever bought. Although mine's 130 grain. That's the bullet we worked for it, and it seems like it's the one that works the best. And I took that elk hunting. I've had no issues with that gun. I really haven't. And all I got's a 3-9. What is it? A Very X2. I remember, not the VXs. They were the first ones, the Very X2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 3-9. But when you're out in the mountains, honestly, that's where I did a lot of hunting, Wyoming, Colorado. Then you're not making that long of shots. You just aren't, generally.
David
that
said,
scope or not.
Especially with that scope.
It's Savage 110 308 155 Sierra Athlon Aries ETR 4.5 to 30 by 56. 116 MOA elevation for the shot. He was holding 5 MOA left.
Yeah, that was on that mile out there. So it was nothing fancy, guys. The Athlon, I don't know. I think David still deals them, but they're decent glass for the money if you're looking for a
155 Sierras are badass in 308 for sure. Love those. He gets fast and high. I think a lot of them, like Dave, I think a lot of the competition guys are using those. I did shoot a 178 308. My buddy Tony's out at our place 1,000. So,
well, I can tell you, I like Sierra bullets. I'm using those in my 7mm 08 right now. They seem to shoot the best. So
Jacob says you got a rifle coming for the boys to test real soon. We're ready, man. We're ready.
To rock and roll.
Got summer's coming. It's getting warm. I want to do it when I don't have to wear a warm freaking clothes again. It wasn't even a bad winter, man, but I'm so sick of being cold that it and it ain't like it's bitter cold. It's just the freaking wind cold is what it is, really.
I don't know about up by Scott's place, but I was in a t-shirt today around here. It was nice. Yeah,
well, I did see Chronic Wasting Disc. He said you look good in your shirt.
Yeah, I had to put it on tonight.
Yeah. If you're still listening, Clay actually had to get the XL because that's too big for me, and the double XL, the guy at work's got the Casey. It fit him good, so Clay's gonna make me one. He said he picked me up an orange shirt. So
I picked you up an orange shirt today. So as long as we're talking about that, we'll just kind of, it doesn't really, but here's what's going on with that. Senate Bill 2137 tomorrow will be on the House floor. That's tomorrow, Friday, April 11th, 12:30 p.m. Central Time. Now, everybody, testimony's over, okay? And they added 2 amendments to this bill, which are just horrible. And it really is going to kind of, if they can't strip the amendments out, I believe they got to divide the bill like they did with 1588 and get rid of the horrible stuff like it was in that one and see what they can do, which allows them to strip them out. So anybody that can go there. And now when you're in the House floor, there's a galley there. There is some room around on the bottom side, but you can't raise a lot of ruckus. You can't be a jerk in there. Just be very respectful. But being there lets them guys know. Okay. And in the meantime, call your rep and tell them you want the amendments stripped out of there. It's a horrible, horrible thing what they're doing. Here's what they want. 50-gallon feed limit per location. This is a property rights bill.
Damn right it is.
A 50-foot setback of feed on your property used for agricultural or animal agriculture. NDGF to provide a report before December 31st, 2028 of a surveillance and testing requirement. That's one of them. I mean, I'm looking at the bill here right now. And yeah, what it is they added this stuff. So they came out of the Senate clean, everybody. Great bill, 1-page bill, and then they had to mark it up. So call your reps, tell them to do not vote for the bill if the amendments are in there. That's what they want you to do. When we had him on last week, he said that's what they wanted to do if they can't get them stripped. But we want them stripped. So urge your representatives when they divide the bill to strip those out, send the clean bill of the Senate to the floor in the House. And your boy Cleary, he's all for this, Jamie. He voted no against the clean bill, but he's all for the crappy stuff.
Oh, come on, Sean. I got to get him on here. He said he'd come on and talk about it.
Oh, so. I want to be on if you're bringing him on. I got questions for him.
Well, he's got to face the music when you're in the Senate, right? When you're going to be a politician.
But it is, and isn't it, Jamie, Scott? It absolutely is a property rights bill. This is not a hunting bill.
You're telling me that I can't roll out any type of bales or feed 50 yards, 50 feet from my fence line?
Yeah. And that's the problem with it. You can't tell me on my side of the property line what I can do.
Yeah.
Got to get that eliminator up and range it. Make sure you're 51 yards.
Stupid. It's just absolutely dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and,
I mean, that's 100% of private property. It's saying, and that's what gets me is like nobody's jumping on the private property right side of it.
Right, and they took it over. And I looked at a lot of that testimony, especially when it flipped over to the House. They tried to get emotional. They tried to make it an ethics bill. They tried to make it everything but what it was. And it kind of got bogged up. And the House is a place where bills go to die sometimes. And then they amended it. I believe it's 4 amendments. Is that what he said? Yeah, 4 amendments were added in the House. Amendments 3 and 4 are the continuation of testing and surveillance for 4 years. And if we want to speak out against it, we will have to do it in a different way. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Right now, call your rep. You can still call them. You can email them. You can text them if you got their number. Tell them to support stripping the amendments and passing a clean bill. That's what you want to tell them. It's that simple. I mean, it's really easy. We're lucky in North Dakota. Most of us know who our reps are and can call them up. So I encourage everybody to do that.
Yeah, well, I got my reps. 2 of them, I got their personal cell number. So
well, and my 2 reps, they know what to do. I talked to both Karen and to Dawson, and if the amendments are in there, they're going to kill the bill. They're going to vote no against the bill, and that's what we want them to do. We want to get the amendments out. They're all for getting rid of the amendments. So my 2 are on board for sure.
So we got one more bill to talk about, Clay. It's got about 10-2. We want to do another commercial break, come back and hit on this antelope one.
Yeah,
I call it the antelope bill because that's what it is to me. I
tried really hard to get in there on your discussion, Scott, but your 800 number kept coming back with a busy signal that day. But
I don't know what's going on. You have that reservation phone down there. I don't know what's
it must
going
be.
on.
Well, my
18
cell
wheels
phone,
and it does assist as support stripping everyone.
But I do disagree with what Jesse was saying. I do not support what they're doing with this.
I agree. I agree.
Let's hit a commercial and come back and hit on this a little more.
Sounds good. We'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So on the bottom here, if you're looking, there is the legislative website to go and find your House members. It's not real difficult to do. It's ndlegis.gov/assembly69 2025, and then you got your regular members house. But please go there. I do believe that same link, or it's one of the links. If you go to the Guns and 701 website, you can find it there too. If nothing else, I have the link to the game and fish bills, and you can go there and grab that bill, and you'll find the sponsors there too. So just making it really easy for everybody to find it.
Yeah. So, Clay, you were talking before we went to break there. Why don't you let everybody know what bill we were talking about? I call the antelope bill.
You know, Venus kind of got me started at Scott. Scott, and by the way, Scott with Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Apologies, Scott, we didn't say that right away. You can hear him every Saturday morning.
I got him, but you were highly
suggested. Oh, okay. That's when I was.
Might as well do it again, though.
Yeah, every Saturday morning, guys, you can catch him 7 o'clock a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 Central on KFYR 550 AM radio. Of course, on YouTube. I think you're on what? Mulbridge. Tell us
Mulbridge, Pier, Minot, and Dickinson.
There you go.
Yeah.
And every night on KFYR, or 99.7 FM, or iHeartRadio, Scott's on 540. Scott, you do a nightly kind of a little tidbit thing. Is that whatever you want?
Well, I'm on like 20 some stations with my daily program, so I don't know what time everybody plays it.
No, I'm saying you come on at 540 when we talk, like you're shooting a prairie dog or you're doing something. Yeah. That's on 20 different stations as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And, I didn't know that.
Is it still on KBJM so far?
It is so far.
Good. I did my calling in, and I encourage you guys to call KBJM.
Yeah, you did.
Let them know that you love hearing Scott on there, because I do. I mean, I like catching it once in a while on there, but I hear it on 810 a lot of times.
810's a big supporter of me down there.
Yep.
That station down there is it covers a lot. I mean,
yes,
they're like the KFYR of South Dakota down there. I mean, they have
yes.
a lot of push. Yeah.
Yep. And I got it. If I ain't on at 550, I'm on 810. So yeah, absolutely. So appreciate it, Scott. Scott, why don't you tell us what you guys were talking about on Saturday? And I think that's a good lead in for this, and then we'll kind of go over it.
All right. So I don't have the bill in front of me. What number it is?
21 Senate Bill 2155.
Okay. So basically what it's saying is in North Dakota, if right now, if the unit is open to antelope hunting, the gratis tags, like for me, as a landowner, there's a good chance I'll get a gratis tag, right? That's usually the guaranteed stuff. Now what they want to do is take the gratis tags as the landowners and do like kind of what they do with elk, is put it into a landowner lottery type of situation. And then if you don't get drawn on that, then you can also submit your name into the regular draw. And my whole conversation about this last Saturday on my program was, with this hunting restriction bill that people call a baiting bill. It's not. It's a anti-hunting bill.
Mm-hmm.
If the Game and Fish would have went after one and then, 2 years later do the next one, but, they're pushing both of these on there and they're taking gratis tags for antelope away from landowners. That is just, that's a stepping in fire there, man. I really have at least in my area, maybe it's different in some other areas, but I mean, you're taking away private property rights. You're taking away one of our gratis tags that we've always had. Now, sometimes the antelope numbers have been low enough that they closed up the unit.
Right. And that was fine.
Jesse's called in last time and he says, maybe, if the landowners, didn't get their tags, it would still allow maybe the unit to be open with something. Or I'm like,
where are they gonna hunt?
Like, if you're going to close it, close it. If you're going to open it. But if you're going to start taking away gratis tags that have been given to landowners, I mean, unless the unit has been closed, which it was for many years.
Yes, it was.
Right. If you're going to start taking away gratis tags that they're used to getting for 40, 50 years of their life, and then you're putting on this hunting restriction bill on top of it, and on, in private property rights, I don't know, man. The Game and Fish has big cojones going after it this year, taking away everything from landowners.
They do. Everyone knows what I feel about the Game and Fish. I think they're one of the worst management organizations in the state. And
so hold on now, Clay. There's certain things I think their public relations needs a little bit, but when it comes to things like, I'll give them some credit. But like when it comes to their fishing side of things, I mean, they do a great job for the fishing industry in North Dakota and what they do there. They have some good points, but I feel that they're lacking on the landowner relationship side. That's my opinion on it. But
their landowner relationship don't exist. They don't lack. It doesn't exist.
Not here, but I think in some areas it might.
I don't know. I've known people even over east. I don't know anybody that's actual real landowners, not acreage owners, that really have anything good to say about their relationships. They come in and they dictate and tell you what they want. But their idea of compromise is do it their way, and they can pound sand. I'm done with them people.
Well, you got the LAUER. They're the largest lobbying group in the state,
and the biggest fee hunting operation that has all the things. They control it all.
But there's also other wildlife organizations that support them 100% and give them a lot of money.
Yes, they do. Mule deer, ducks, pheasants. I'll name them.
Every one of them.
The only one I actually probably have any respect for out of them groups is the wildlife, the Turkey Federation. They seem like they're a little better.
Scott didn't look like he agreed with that.
Maybe not. And they support the Second Amendment. They've actually been side by side with us in the NRA on just about every gun bill I can ever remember, which is unusual when you got the other ones fighting you tooth and nail. And by the way, they were one of the few that came out in support of the posting bill in 2019 was the Turkey Federation.
They were also in support of Measure 5 years ago too.
Were they? Okay, I did not know that.
And that's the thing is I wish these wildlife organizations would stay out of the damn politics.
They should. They should just do what they're meant to
stay out of it. I mean, it has turned me off on so many of the people that I've supported because of those reasons. Just stay out of the politics side of it. But you can't when your local Game and Fish is involved in it as deeply as they are.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Jamie talked to Kelly. I know one time I did, and I said, what I'd love to see is I'd like to see the agencies not be able to testify. There's no reason for them to come in and testify. They're an agency. They work for us, and we don't need their testimony. Seriously. It's not a government of the agency for the people. No, this is not how that works. I get so frustrated when I see these agency guys. And then when you go look at all the testimony on all this, whether it's the bill we were just talking about, 2137, or this one, the only people that come out for it if it's a bad bill or against it if it's a good bill are the agency people. And I don't know. I don't want to pay them to be there lobbying. They should be in their office doing their job.
I don't get paid when I go up there as a citizen. Do they get paid to go up there?
They get paid from us. My biggest fear of this entire bill.
I really think some of these landowners are going to start locking their stuff down. You just see what Levi said here. Put that one up there on your screen.
Which one? Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's right there.
Levi takes out a ton of people, and he supports hunting and taking people out no matter what. I try to do the same thing, but with both of these different legislations going to be coming to fruition here, I'm not looking at wanting anybody in my place, and I'm going to look at every sticker they have on their window of their vehicle, and they come in here. If
Oh,
it
I
has
agree.
any of the people that supported any of those groups, I'm not going to let them in.
And Levi's, I'm right there with Levi. I said it last week too. I said, I'll lock my place down. And Jesse said, oh, it already is. That's not true. Jamie can attest. I let people hunt here. I want you to ask me. I don't just
Absolutely.
let you come onto the place. So yes, I have my signs up, but now do I let everybody hunt? No. For one, I don't have the numbers to let every Tom and Dick. It's not public land. I don't need to let everybody hunt. And yes, I am very selfish because we have the place. I like to hunt. My boys are starting to hunt, and well, they're not starting. They do hunt, and yeah, we're going to go out there and hunt too. But I had people here during deer season, even when I was hunting, and I look at how many deer I think can be taken off this place without hurting the numbers, and I think we're doing pretty good, unless EHD comes through like it's been doing.
Well, just saying, Clay, if you let a bunch more people come on your land and hunt, then the deer don't have any sanctuary, and there's no deer in the area then because they all get smoked and there's no deer, and then people are bitching there's no deer around.
Yes.
I'd love to have 20,000 acres and let anybody I want to come hunt on our property, but you can't. You got to. I mean, I got enough family and friends there. You got to. I mean, maybe they don't believe it, but you got to halfway manage your own freaking land for the population of deer.
Oh, absolutely.
And that
Well,
resonates outside of your property.
The job of the Game and Fish is to manage the wildlife, and they do that by allowing so many tags per unit, except for bow hunting for some reason. Okay,
Yep.
Right? We're doing the same thing by allowing certain people on our property around. Private landowners attempt to do the same thing. I wouldn't say all of them. Okay, and some people are low and some people are high and taking animals, and some people are right in the middle trying to manage it. But I think most everybody is trying to do the best they can. We're all in it for the same reason.
Yeah,
I don't know why we just can't sit at the table and say, why are you taking away our property rights and our gratis tags, and say, well, there's so many people, there's less gratis people, and there's so many more people that want to hunt. I get that too. I understand that, but and I don't know anything about this group that you just posted up there. I don't know nothing
backcountry
about
hunters
them.
and anglers. They're horrible. They're horrible. They were started by a leftist, and I think they originated.
Wall is the guy's name who's here.
Did it originate out of Montana originally, if I remember right? But not a friend of the hunter, really.
Yeah. Well, Josh Patterson said they're fucking us. They're trying to, really. So
yeah.
No, I know nothing about them, so I can't say anything about them because I know nothing on it.
Well, go look at.
I sometimes love my life out here,
bills.
Clay. I just keep to myself and I don't do nothing but shoot stuff.
But Dougie says he saw North Dakota Game and Fish sponsored an Earth Day drawing contest for elementary kids. What the hell does that have to do with anything game and fish related in North Dakota? No,
I'll tell you exactly what it has to do. It shows that they're doing public relations, and as long as it's public relations, they can spend the money on that.
As long as it's liberal ideology public relations. Let's face
whatever they want to call it, but public relations to me would say, hey, like Jesse said the last time, split the state up in 4 different quadrants, hire somebody to go talk to landowners and actually sit down and talk with them.
They're going to have to do it. And it's going to have to be somebody who doesn't side with either. It truly would have to be a neutral person who can talk with them. You send them jack wagons that come out of Game and Fish to talk, it's not going to help. I've had some of them stop here trying to, get me to enroll my land in plots, which is never going to happen. And I'm telling you, these are some of the most arrogant dickheads I've ever met.
Wow. So our local we have a new game warden.
Okay.
He's doing well. He's given it an attempt.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say everybody. I mean, we all have our opinions on. I can't say anybody in the whole thing. There's some people in the Game and Fish department probably pretty darn good, but I don't know all of them, Clay.
I don't know every one of them.
I just wish that they would spend a little more time on this.
Yeah, our old game warden up by our place used to be good. He left, and now the new guy is a complete arrogant asshole. I haven't heard one person up there say one good thing about it. Well, Jesse will tell you too. Scott, same game warden, same unit. Jesse will tell you what he thinks of him.
Well, we got a lady. She comes out of Elgin and comes down here, and I hadn't seen her down here in years until she decided she wanted to start parking on my land without permission. And then we got into it and left ruts in it. And she thought I was the one in the wrong. And I'm telling you, that's the problem. You know what? It had rained and snowed, and you go and you pull quite a ways into my land to sit on top of the freaking hill without permission, driving by my big ass, don't freaking come on my land sign. Yeah, I'm going to be a little hot when I get up there. Especially
I hope
when
we
you're
get
a
enough
game
rain in our
warden.
place to leave wheel tracks.
Oh God, that pissed me off. And then she basically told me how wrong I was, and that went south in a hurry.
Josh says it sucks because him and his boy are sitting on 5 or 6 points for antelope, and now the land's going to get locked up thanks to this bill.
And that's the problem. And getting back to that, Scott, I guarantee you, if they do this, if this goes through, which it looks like it's gonna, I think the only thing we can really do is encourage Kelly not to sign it. But
Yep.
even when you look at the numbers, I think the Senate's veto proof when you look at how it passed. It's not a good thing. And your boy
Nope.
Cleary brought that one, Jamie.
Yeah, he was.
one of
Yep,
them.
he was a sponsor of that one.
Yep. Cleary, Beckendahl, and then Representative Bosch and Steiner.
I'm laughing at a comment. Doug says, "Was it an established trail, Clay?
What's that?
Was it an established trail, Clay?"
No, it wasn't actually. It was a little hilltop, and
Yeah.
she had her
It was
spotting
established
scope
after
on
she
there,
drove on it.
basically.
Yeah.
And
Did-
I got no use for that. You know what? If she wanted to know something, why didn't she stop at our place? I mean, it's marked, it's listed, it's pretty easy to stop in there and talk. But no. So I'm going to drive north 2 miles and park on your land, even though it's not a right of way. There's no easement there. I mean, use their heads. Use your head, and they don't.
Dave says a game warden that works by Richmond has been pretty decent, friendly, and not annoyingly intrusive like some others have. So good deal.
So yeah, I'm just looking at this. So and it passed into the House. It passed 75-14. Now it was or
Jeez.
in the the Senate. No, it was the House. The House 75-14. The Senate was a little closer, 27-19. It actually failed on the first reading, and then a couple people changed their mind. I don't know what they changed in it. I didn't go through it that tough to see, but they did change them. Thanks to Senator Magrum for voting no on this. I got to say thanks for that. And Senator Don Scheibel out of District 31, my senator, voted no. So thanks to that. But 75-14, guys. That's a pretty big margin.
It's probably going to pass.
So we'll see what happens if Governor Armstrong, if Kelly would veto this. You know, it looks like to me it would have a really good chance of being overridden in the House. But I don't know about the Senate. There's not a 2/3 majority in the Senate. It has to be a 2/3 in both. So we'll just have to see. But this idea, you know, I read it here. It's a 2-page bill, which is nice to see just a 2-page bill. But
Yeah.
the number of licenses issued without charge, which is the gratis, under this subsection may not exceed. Now, they did change it. They had the total number of 1/2. So they changed it not to exceed 1/2. So it used to be every license, and that's the problem. They brought that threshold down of the number of licenses of any pronghorn license, which they also changed that because it was of the buck tags at first. Now it's all of them prescribed for each district. And it goes on here. They eliminated if the number of the licenses prescribed for the district or unit exceeds 50, and if the number of the applications of license exceeds that number of license prescribed for the district, then 1/2 of those licenses exceeding 50 must be issued by a lottery. So they did exclude that, but then they turned around and changed it and pretty much did the same thing, just with different wording. So they added 2 pieces to this, what already was part of the Century Code. And essentially, to break it down without going through all, you know, most people don't understand it when you read it. They want to take your gratis tag if it's going to be more than 50% of the tags allotted for that unit, you know, of applicants. It used to be you got it, right? Didn't matter. If there was 100 tags and there was 99 applicants, 99 gratis tags were going to be, and there'd be one available. Now it can't be more than 50 tags. And then
50%.
if 50%, which on 100 would be 50 tags. Then if you turn around and now if you're under that, no problem, but eventually it's going to happen. Then if you don't get drawn in that lottery, then your name automatically, the way I read it, goes into the actual general draw for the tags that are left over. So you know you're getting the dough if there's any left over, but there's no charge for it, which that's a whole nother thing. I know you guys are talking about that, about the gratis tags. Gratis tags ain't necessarily free, depending on the type of landowner you are, really.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, the western part of the state, which is where the antelope are, they're going to lock their land down. 2 of these bills, both of them, like you said, is going to piss off the landowners, and they don't care.
Yeah. Well, a bunch of people who've never hunted them probably don't even. I know Sean never has. He's a wing shooter, so.
Well, something I noticed and I like Wayne. We've had Wayne on here, and Jesse were talking with you about fairness. There's no such thing as fair and equal isn't fair. It don't exist, and nor should it be. The landowners, without landowners, the game and fish can't manage dick. Okay, over 90% of this land is owned privately. If you don't have the help of private landowners, you can't manage anything. You can let all the tags you want out, but if you got nowhere to hunt, can't manage very good, can you?
Yeah, Doug says the pool's still diluted anyways then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no matter which way they go about
No matter
it.
which way they do it.
Hey, one shot
Absolutely.
Cap. Good evening, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Gene
And yeah,
says, I would
exactly,
think if it's
Gene.
getting bad for antelope, close the season. Yeah, I mean, just like
That's what they did
used to.
for many years. For like 6-7 years, they closed it up.
It was closed
Yeah.
here for 6 years. Then that first year they came out, they had 6 tags in this unit. And it was interesting because I applied. I got a gratis tag because there were a few on our place. And I didn't take one. I could have filled it anytime. I just didn't think there was even enough for me to fill my tag. So I'm, as I don't know about you, Scott, or I know what Jamie's like, but I'm guessing you're the same way. If you get the tag and you feel that something's happening between the time you got, you applied for that tag and hunting season, and it looks like there's probably not a population there to support a harvest, I don't do it.
Right.
I'm the same way, I mean, I let my deer tag go for the past few years because of the EHD destruction that we had.
Yep.
But I mean, you see people that get the regular draw, they come out here and they'll shoot anything that moves.
Anything. And that's the problem.
So that it is a problem because, good for them wanting to still hunt. And I good for hunters. I support hunters.
Yep.
But if it's truly about management and your unit was just destroyed by EHD, then why do you still allow everybody to go out and take whatever there is? So that brings another thing. There's states that have a point restriction.
No,
It's got to be at least a 4 point on each side or whatever it may be. I don't know if that's necessary because you still have some junk that needs to get taken out of the gene pool once in a while.
I don't mind shooting big threes either, so.
No, I don't either.
Right.
I don't care shooting anything because I don't have a house that you can hang mounts in. I'm not that guy. I live off of the food that we produce out here, whether it's beef, venison, and I'll give all the coyote to Gene Cox that he wants. He can grade that stuff all he wants. It's grade A stuff, man. It's grade A.
I can tell you, I do like to shoot the big ones, but I haven't always shot a big. I mean, I got 2 on my wall that I thought were worth mounting. Okay, and they're nice deer. 3, I guess. I got the one down here. But I'm telling you right now, I enjoy hunting. So big or small, it's not big. If I can't find a nice mature deer, then I'll shoot a doe. I got no issue with that. That's the nice thing about the gratis tag is I can shoot it whatever I want.
Absolutely. Yep.
And South Dakota's always had that where you could get this any deer tag. I used to hunt South Dakota all the time, and that was nice because I could hunt for a nice one. Or when I decided that, either the population ain't going to sustain taking out nice mature deer or whatever the reason might be, then I'd pop a doe. Still harvest my meat and enjoy the season and enjoy the rewards afterwards. But you can't do that because in North Dakota, you have to apply, I think, still for a buck tag if you're in the general draw, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
In the general draw, yeah.
Yeah. And I also worry about this. I think this is, they went with the antelope one because, there's the populations have been down, but they no more than they ever have been. I think this is a test run. They want to see what the fallout's going to be. And then mark my words, if this goes through and it all calms down and everybody then lives with it and accepts it, it's coming to your next deer unit that looks like it's in trouble.
Yep.
They're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Taking away the gratis tags all the way around.
And they've wanted to do that for decades. I was in several of them meetings. They said it. They said that part out loud. And then, of course, people would push back on them and then no, we don't want to eliminate them, but we need to make changes. Well, one guy said that we should eliminate them. He's not even there no more. Even Jeb didn't go for that because he knew that would raise hell.
But there's less and less. I mean, you're starting to see the landowners. There's more and more big operators, and a lot of those big guys don't hunt.
No, they don't.
Right? And So now you're seeing people buying at least 150 plus acres in North Dakota so they can get a gratis tag. Now they're trying to get away from that. All right. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, because the management is not going to go well if you're not a private landowner supporter.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, they're playing with fire again here. That was, there was a lot of fallout after the private property rights bill failed. And I think they're going to see the similar thing happen here, especially with both these bills out there. If they don't strip out the amendments on the 1237 or 2137, and this one goes through with no problems, that's 2 hits to private property rights and to hunters. These are hunting bills. They're not feeding bills. They're not baiting bills. These are hunting and private property rights bills. And enough. I mean, it seems like this session the legislature has been attacking private property rights, not just in the hunting world, all the way across the board.
Yep.
So
every session. Now they have a bill that wants to move it every year.
Yeah.
You
I don't know what to think.
Yeah, that's how you need it. The more they're not there, the less damage they can do.
But see, you guys don't realize it. They do meetings all during the off years, right? Yep. I've been to some of them, and that's where it's actually worse. They're not ever they're publicized, but nobody goes to them. The news don't cover them. I'm telling you, those meetings are way more dangerous than if it was happening in the session every year. But they can't have a 90-day session or an 80-day session. It's got to be like South Dakota. South Dakota with 30-some days. You can only do so much damage in 30 days. And I don't think you would see 1,500 plus bills. This is the biggest session I've seen for bills. You can't cover all them bills. You just can't. I can't read them all in that time frame.
Yeah, Dougie says they had tags and didn't shoot anything after EHD went through because the numbers weren't there.
Yeah.
And Gene says any deer. Gene's from South Dakota here. Any deer. It seems like, in my opinion, the eastern side of the state floods West River counties. Levi, I did not know this. Levi says, did you know you can't take a mule deer buck in the muzzleloader season with a gratis? Somebody did just tell me that this year.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's whitetail only. Muzzleloader's whitetail only.
Yep, that's right. My dad's neighbor did tell me that because I was bitching about it, and he said that to me. So, yeah,
I did not know that. Huh.
The UND baiting survey with SB 2137. Oh, that's what he's got here. The UND. Oh, he put the baiting survey.
Go take it, guys. I did. I went and did it. And if you need to go to chronic wasting disease, and they did have it on there, so go check that out and fill it out. It's weighted. I mean, you can tell that it's a weighted survey, but it's still if a bunch of people like us go on there and give a real opinion, it's not going to do them much good. They're going to see the result they don't like, probably.
South Dakota legislative session, 40 days, Gene.
40 days, there you go. And usually, I think, Gene, if I remember right, they reserve some in case they need to come back in the session, something like that.
Yeah, Levi's right. Gratis should be any deer, for sure.
They really should. Any season, any deer, really. And by the way, I don't know, I'm guessing, Scott, you agree with this. Everyone thinks this gratis tag, oh, you guys get a free gratis tag, you can do whatever you want. No, you can't. You got to actually put out the property you're going to hunt. So, you only want to hunt 1/4, you put that down. But if you want to hunt your entire place, you got to list all that property.
You do. So the Game and Fish did do something. They switched that where you can actually click on it now this year.
Okay.
So they did switch that. So that's nice, and it'll be saved for the next year. But one thing a lot of people don't understand with a gratis tag, especially in my area, where we have allotments for the federal land, you cannot hunt public land if you have a gratis tag.
That's right. Only your own private land.
Only your own property.
And if you only got 160 and you want to bait, now they want to restrict you for that.
Yep.
Oh, you got a gratis tag. What do you need to bait for? You can hunt anywhere you want.
It's easy.
Anywhere, yeah.
You're right. And most people don't. We got people I know around here that get a gratis tag, and they're a long ways from where they live.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that happens everywhere, but I don't even know. It's kind of like this bill. You're going to restrict it to 50 gallons. How are they going to enforce that? They can't even enforce the gratis tag limit.
Yeah, you're going to go and scrape it up with your 50 gallon.
Trust me, Clay. They'll find a way to have some reason to come on your property to enforce that rule. If they see a feeder or if they see a food plot up
Our
against the
drone
fence
saw
line,
that. Our drone
or
saw
they're
that.
send a drone out. They're gonna. This is their way of getting in on private property rights
yeah.
even more. You say, how are they
Yep.
going to enforce it? That's exactly what they want to do.
Well, I put it to you this way. You know how I am. You might see me in the news if I catch him on my place. I'm done with this crap.
Yep.
And I will take the Second Amendment and protect all my other rights.
Gordon Peterson.
Dude, hell yes. I'm
Josh
so
Patterson.
done with that stuff. I'm glad I live where I live, which is in the
Josh
middle of nowhere.
Patterson says, I
On the
saw a
res.
post of a guy crying that he didn't get an elk tag,
Yeah,
and he was
post this
pissed
one up.
because he said landowners. Whoop, me and Clay are fighting it here. Go ahead, Clay, put it up there.
I got it up there.
Okay, so Josh says, I saw a post of a guy crying that he didn't get an elk tag, and he was pissed because he said landowners get an elk tag every year. Any truth to that, or is gratis for elk lottery?
Gratis is an elk lottery. So all the landowners are put into a lottery, except for a certain special people, evidently up by Medora. Evidently, some of those guys get it every year. But I think there's a reason behind that. So I put in, I was not selected. In my area, there was only 3 people selected in probably, I mean, and we're talking from like South Dakota border up to Bullion Butte, from Highway 85 over to Montana, right? There was
Big area.
3 landowners selected. However, when you look at the list, and they have this, and you can look at Grand Forks Herald posted this on their Facebook site, and it has a list of every single person that drew an elk tag, and very, very few people are landowners on that.
Really?
And a ton of them are East River. Okay. So what gets me is like, I mean, I'm having issues with elk all the time throughout the winter.
Yeah.
Right. Now they moved on to the neighbor's place because they went over somewhere else, but I fed them all winter long. I don't get a tag. I might get a tag once every 10 years as a landowner. All right. Some landowners, I mean, there's a chance that you might get drawn back to back. I mean, it's a lottery. All right, but that's what they want to do with the antelope thing, and that's why I don't really appreciate that. But first and foremost, the 2 neighbors that I know that got drawn for their landowner tag. Now the difference is they can go anywhere in the unit as that landowner tag allows them. That's one thing about the elk draw that's different than a deer or an antelope draw.
Okay.
You don't have to stay on your own place. You can go anywhere in that entire unit. Those 2 people are going to be the first people that I'm going to call. Okay. I'm going to take care of my neighbors first.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we'll see what happens. Right. But those 2 guys, I mean, they're the ones that have been at my brandings all the time. They're there, and they're neighbors 12 months out of the year. So, but it is not true. They do not get an elk tag every year. That is a lottery type thing. If you get one I think my father-in-law is like every 5-6 years he gets drawn. Did you find that? Yeah, there's a whole list. Yeah.
So there it is. He isn't
kind of hard to see, but yeah. Let's keep scrolling. There's a few that say landowner. Then keep scrolling and see how many that say there's not landowners.
Yeah, I can see where it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 landowners out of
no, but there's like 12 pages of this whole thing.
Yeah, there's just one page.
20 pages. I mean,
there's Fargo, but yeah, there's their name.
Says 1 of 31.
Well, it gives you the name of everybody. Yeah,
I got a problem with that. That's nobody's business. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess out in the east part of the state, they like to sniff you out.
But if you keep scrolling, I mean, there's a lot of Dickinson, there's a lot of Williston and Watford City, but you got to remember that some of those guys are big, big landowners too. They have like a lot of land.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is just in the B's, but yeah, like here's a whole page and it's just 4 landowners on that one. But
there's some that have 0 landowners on them.
And I got an issue with them posting and every name that drew a tag.
Every single name.
That reminds me like when they post everybody in these big
where they live.
cities. If you got a concealed carry permit and they're trying to out you or something, I mean, what do they give a shit?
All right, Dave Fetting. Is Cameron Fetting related to you from Tappan? I know he's listening tonight. Yeah, I'm scrolling through this and there they are. Wow. Huh. I didn't know they did that they could post all that. Like, that's ridiculous, really. Mark Goldberg, I know that name.
So
He's from Medora. He's Ole's son.
Okay, that's why now I know who he is.
He's been putting in for like 20 years, and he finally got drawn.
Finally got one. Yeah.
As a landowner.
As a landowner. Oh, but you guys just get them whenever you want them, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just to the H's here. So, yeah. Wow. I had no clue that existed.
Dougie wants to know who hunts the land China owns.
Oh, they don't need to do anything. They just show up and do it.
So he also wants to know what if anything ever happened with them wolves that were let out near you, Scott.
I can't say anything at this point.
Oh.
There's a whole thing going on with that,
Okay.
man. Yeah,
David says, nope, no relation. There we go.
It's on the federal level at this point, so.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that they're really playing with fire again. As far as private property rights, landowners. Once again, here we are, and the wedge is just getting bigger, and it's not a good thing. It's not good for hunting.
I think it's intentional.
Oh, I think it is too. It's just like the CWD units, supposedly. I mean, the tags they let loose here in 3F2. I mean, if you go look at those CWD units, they're trying to kill the deer off. I suppose that's their new, without saying it, that's their new idea to supposedly get ahead of this thing that don't exist. Well, the disease exists, but not what they're doing. And then I had people driving. I mean, it was like a highway around here, Scott. And then they couldn't get nowhere, no place to hunt. Nobody let them hunt because we didn't have the population to support the tags that these people had.
Well, Whalen's in your same law. I mean, 3F2 is a big unit.
It's a big unit.
And Whalen, you're on the west side of it. He's on the east side of it. And even he said there was no deer. I mean,
there
was
wasn't.
Crazy how few deer there were.
EHD we've had two bad years, not back to back, but 2 different years that weren't too far apart that really hit us hard out here. Yeah. And now the mule deer have moved in. I mean, I got more mule deer than I've had ever. And that's fine, but we don't have the population to support the tags that they released in this unit. I mean, we just don't. At least the Chinese will eat coyotes.
AT wheels and doesn't. Yeah, at least the Chinese will eat the coyotes. They're going to have to if they don't want to get out of the tariff deal here. So
Levi says something that's interesting there. Yeah. They want to kill off 3F2, and I think 3F2, is such a unique unit because there's a little bit of everything in that unit right now.
There is.
And a lot of different topography and where I grew up, I was a 3F2 guy for many, many years.
By Raleigh,
and it's too bad to see that. It really is. I mean, they've been collecting deer heads for a long time and that. So,
yeah. And, like we talked with Dusty last week. Are you kidding me, man? Scientific study. I know a little about that. They don't even have a control model. You're taking all these supposedly diseased heads and throwing them all in a bin together and then taking the results. It's just, that is not how you conduct
You're not wrapping them separate in a garbage bag or not keeping them separate or freezing them or nothing. You just throw them in a big stinking garbage can.
If it's that highly contagious as they tell us, then we got a problem, don't we? When you throw them into a big bin, that's got to smell great when they open.
Oh, yeah. Love to be a tester in that.
But no, 3F2, you're right. We even got a little elk unit over here now. The tribe brought all them elk in, but they've just like Custer State Park, they've all gotten out now. And now trying to remember what
there's some big ones there too.
There's some big elk over in
Real
that
big
Pine Hills area. So
I like porcupines.
You can have them.
Well, they ain't here. They're about.
Don't get me wrong. It's cool to see them. It's nice to see them every once in a while. But when you're dealing with them and you never get a tag, and last year was the first year I got a tag,
right?
And when you have to deal with so many of them all the time in the wintertime and feed them, and now they're coming up with these feeding bills. Okay, so that means I can't feed my cows.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's going to get to. It's going to get to a point where you can't put food plots in. You're going to have to feed your cows certain places. It's like they're trying to rule what we do as our livelihood.
Oh, you absolutely are.
Yeah, Levi. There's no big elk in 3F2.
All little.
Stay out.
I was probably drinking when I saw those Levi. So
yeah.
I mean, I got buck fever pretty easy. So
I've had moose and elk wander over here, not very often. It is neat to see them. Luckily, I'm with you. I don't really want them here on our place. I really don't. They're pretty destructive.
You think you have people drive around your place during deer season? Wait until you get elk.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Have to release some more mountain lions out here. Take care of the elk. Oil and spikes
and black
only.
bear.
And black bear.
Well.
Yeah. So
Spike
yeah,
only.
I mean that's why that's kind of why I mentioned we should have you on. I wanted to kind of pick that discussion up from what you guys were discussing Saturday. And if you're a landowner, you need to call. I think the only way you can do is call the governor's office and urge Kelly to veto it. Kelly's a hunter, okay? And he's a pretty down-to-earth guy. I mean, me and Jamie know him pretty well. And a landowner. And I think that's the best route to go because I don't think there's any stopping this any other way. And it's going to be very detrimental to the hunter-landowner relationship. It is. It just is. It's not going to be good
Speaking of Kelly, I thought I saw somebody you might know that was with him today.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My son. That's right. He was up there. Yeah, Kelly sent me that picture. Then Landon, when he got home, he had to tell me about it. He was pretty excited. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. He was in the office there with them. I saw that was pretty cool. So.
Yeah, they're a government class. And then Landon, there was only him and another kid that got to sit on the floor during a floor vote because they're the only ones that dressed. There's a dress code, and kids are kind of slobs nowadays. But we told Landon, you better take some decent clothes, so he did. And so yeah, he got to sit down. He thought that was pretty cool. So I'm glad to see he took an interest because I never know with him. But he thought that was pretty neat to meet the governor and then sit on the floor and watch the process. So great. It was great for him.
Watch the sausage getting made.
So hey, I got Dusty Backer. He sent me a deal. He says amendments were basically to shut us up so that they can amp up their testing and restrictions without a backlash.
Yeah.
Lockup is all the landowners have left. Yeah, that's right. It is.
Yep. Well,
and that's tough to get everybody on the same page. Hey, before I forget.
Yes.
Going into a very dry year right now. Big fire north of Lemon right now. I mean, 10,000 acres up there. It's been burning since yesterday. They got it 80% contained of what I've seen right now was Shane Penfield saying they got it, but the winds are going to be changing here. Another thing you guys got to look at too, if anybody's out there shed hunting or prairie dog shooting or doing any of that stuff, just be careful where you're driving and make sure you know what the county laws are because each county sets the driving and the travel management plan basically county by county. So make sure to check that too.
Yeah, it wasn't too far. I mean, really it wasn't that far from me. It was north and west of me, about 9 miles, I suppose, over there. I went over there and got to look at it. I know our department went out. Hell, I didn't even know what was going on. I was working in the shop, and I come out, and I was like, I can smell smoke out here. That ain't good. Yeah, it was a pretty big fire. And
it started yesterday during the big wind.
Yes, and it carried. It did. Now,
well, it's supposed to be windy tomorrow too, and then keep your fingers crossed Sunday, western North Dakota. As of right now, 60% chance of rain. So,
and I couldn't tell looking from where I was at whether it had actually crossed the river. It looked like to me it started on the north side of the river, the Cedar River, and it definitely went, blew down the river through there, but I really can't tell you if it crossed or managed to cross a little bit. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Not familiar with that topography a lot, but I seen some of the maps on Facebook that Shane put on, and he does a nice job over there for you guys.
Yeah, he's been involved, I think, since he got back here. And, he was a grade below me. Me and him, it was great because at that time he was a junior and I was a senior, so we were involved in a lot of the same stuff and always got to have some great discussions politically. So it was always fun to have somebody that age discuss them with me.
David said you can get those moose north of Hettinger about 9 miles.
Yeah, there's been some up in there. I don't know if they're still there. Have you seen them lately, David? Let us know because I haven't been up there, but I've heard a lot of people talking about them. Them moose are moving. I mean, they're moving farther out, and they'll do that.
So, they want grain country, man. They like those stubble fields.
Yes, they do. I mean, I like moose. I've ate moose. It's, if it's
you ever eat their nose?
Their nose.
Everybody eats everything. I'm just curious. I always think that I would picture somebody. You ever had moose nose? It's the best meat you ever had.
Oh, I don't know about best, but it's pretty good.
Moose is a lot like horse.
I've never been to France.
Oh, horse meat's really good. I mean,
I've actually
It
never
is?
tried horse.
yeah, people are mistaken. I mean, they don't realize how that it's really good meat. Yeah.
All right, where'd
You
you eat
need to
it at?
travel abroad there, Jamie. You need to get out and
I'm
get
always
around,
accused
man.
of being a closed-minded knuckle dragger, so I'm probably never leaving the United States again.
I tell you what, when I was in South Korea, man, I ate some dog. It was
Yeah?
pretty damn good.
It was?
I'd
Yeah.
have to, you know what? I would imagine that
If
any
I didn't
meat,
know what it was.
if it's cooked correctly and taken care of,
Correct.
yeah, it'd be fine. It's meat, protein.
Gene says antelope and moose are the best. Dougie says they get one walking through his place every couple of years.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of moose up this way, but we got a lot of other stuff we can try to eat.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, Scott. So I like antelope. I actually prefer
I love
antelope. And so, yeah, I was always kind of bummed out when I couldn't get a tag when the seasons were closed because I'll take antelope any day. I like antelope.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with you on that. I think antelope meat is probably one of my top 3.
Yep. mine too.
Absolutely. And when this gratis tag thing going the way it is, kind of making me sad about that. What are you
I
gonna
know.
do? For
Oh,
Taco John, you can get some great dog. And get this, every damn one of us that were in track, we went to Taco John's in Fort Yates, and we ate tacos and churros, and they were great. So
hey,
don't
the
get
wrestlers did too when we go up there.
Yeah, I used to deliver down there in
yeah,
the early 90s for a delivery company, and I ate there all the time too.
Yeah.
So.
So you've had dog there, Jamie.
Great makes
even
great
know it.
tacos, man.
Didn't even know it.
The mayor says if God didn't want you to eat critters, he wouldn't have made them out of meat. There you go.
I mean, a lot of it like that, like Scott says, people would be taking it, but I mean, it's just a culture thing, whatever they eat there. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've tried raccoon. I've never had beaver. I know that Marty.
You said Korea. You ate dog in Korea.
Oh, I did eat dog in Korea.
Yeah, that's what he said. You pronounced.
I see where he's going with that. Leave it to Levi. I thought he's supposed to be at night shift. Aren't you working or something? Keep the power on.
Man.
Grief, man.
We ain't had Levi on in a while. We should get him on again. Hey, Levi. We haven't had
he's
John
going
for
to
a while.
Africa second half of April. He was texting me the other day. We were going back and forth. I said, "Get hold of me in May. I'll come down and shoot some prairie dogs. If not, sometime in June. That's when he said he's going there the second half of June."
David says, I put a few fences up down there. The feral dog population decreased a lot over that month. So.
Oh my God! So I just started a whole thing on.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
we did. Yeah, we got Josh. He says, you know what you call a dog on the res? Soup
or tacos.
Black lab on rye. But anyway,
you guys know what you call a dog with no legs? Not a damn thing. He ain't gonna come anyway.
Martin, I said Marty says he'll cook us up anything over there. He said beaver tastes great.
Man, they stink. I don't know. As it gets in the meat.
Just give
Levi
him some
said
pineapple
tomorrow he's
before
on
you-
nights, not tonight.
Oh, now I'm catching hell about that. Clay don't eat beaver? Question mark.
T. Wheels says I've ate beaver.
Yeah. Shaved.
Got to put some spell check on some of these boys.
Well, they probably had too much Coors Light. They don't think it gets them drunk.
No, it's
and they have
Coots.
3
It was
pounders
Coots
and they
Light.
get-
Remember?
Yeah,
Early in the conversation.
This stuff can't get you drunk. It's all water.
Whole water that runs down.
Oh
No, like I said, that's all I pretty much wanted to visit tonight about was those bills, and
yeah,
we got that
mission
covered.
accomplished.
Unless Scott's got anything, what do you got coming up Saturday?
I have no idea yet. I'm just thinking it's Thursday, and this one we were discussing. I'm like, I have nobody lined up because I'm in calving mode, man. My brain is just messed up right now. So anybody wants to come on the radio this Saturday, get in contact with me. We'll make it work. Otherwise, I'll figure it out.
I might even miss the show because I think my kid's first volleyball game in Minot's at 8. So and you'll forgive me, I miss about 3 of them a year, Scott. So
we got prom to go to, and they go out to eat and start at 4:30, going out to their places to eat, stuff like that. So I know what I'll be doing.
I got a bad one apparently.
That's what you're okay. I didn't see that.
Eric's got to make me some porcupine because he's not the only one who's ever told me porcupine is great eating.
So I've tried it. One of the wild game feeds they used to do down here. Actually, I thought it wasn't too bad. Now, no, it did not taste like chicken.
See, here's the problem: is you guys don't show up to the Baker Wild Game Feed where all this stuff is usually served.
Man,
And I'm sure they got all of it.
I told you that, man.
It doesn't matter. Season's more than just one day. You want to support guns? You want to support Second Amendment? I don't see you there.
Oh shit, they're supported up there.
So 18
the damn
wheels
roads are too rough to spell check.
Are you texting and driving 18 wheels? Come on.
That's not illegal in Massachusetts. One
There
of the
you
few things.
Yeah, one of the few things. Don't bring your gun, but you can text and drive.
Speaking of that, you see that freaking helicopter crash there today?
Hmm.
Jeez, the freaking rotor came off and the tail broke. I think 5 people died. They got video, crashed right in a...
What the hell? Well, tomorrow, so I don't know. Todd's not there. So I guess I don't know any other difference. So I guess I'll plan to be on there at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got things lined up for the show, but Todd's
7
hasn't answered me either. So yeah, 7 Mountain and 8 Central. KFYR,
Sounds like Dan the
550.
Man's going to be on. So Dan Turnus, you and Turnus the Furnace will be on there, I think.
I mean, I don't know crap about sports. I can't talk to Dan about that. So
You can talk some wrestling with him.
I'd rather talk hunting.
Figure
I'll
4.
give you $1 to put him into the Saturday Night Ride on air.
Saturday Night Ride.
You didn't have that move? Or did you
I
call it
didn't-
the honeymooner?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what we
see,
called it.
see, everybody had a different way of calling it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. My favorite was figure 4 in the head. And now, from what I understand, you can't even do that, what I used to do. They made it illegal. It's a move you can't use anymore.
Yeah.
D18 Wheels, he says, I'm in D.C. now. I will just identify as a Democrat.
Yeah.
Everything else is illegal there, Doug. He says, Waylon Turnus says, I was talking to Clay the other day about the Baker banquet. Might have to try and get out to that this year since Cash has his driver's license now. There you go.
There, we
I
can
was thinking ahead.
carpool, and then we don't have to drive. Heck yeah.
There you go.
Founders, those dirty bastards in dark beer. That's what Eric Newman says. Eric's a
like-
big dark beer guy.
I like
Scott,
dark
what's
beer.
your opinion of dark beer?
Not a fan of it.
Me either.
I do. What have I always told you, Jamie? When I do drink beer, I'm a beer snob. I like them good dark beers. And, yeah.
We almost had it right. You said good dark beer.
Oh my God, David! Can we go for the day 10 times meow?
Meow.
Oh, meow.
I just watched it on TikTok this morning.
Oh my God!
That was pretty good.
I've been thinking about getting us another TikTok page. You never know what'll happen.
Hate to leave you guys, but I got to go run out and check cows.
Yeah,
one more
we
time.
gotta get
Yeah,
rolling
we're
anyhow.
pretty much wound down and bullshit now. So Scott, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And I think
thanks,
we all
Scott.
kind of. I don't think we got a lot of disagreement from our listeners as to what we were saying on that. So.
Yeah, good
They call
crowd
it
tonight
preaching
too.
to
I
the
mean,
choir.
later on here, going longer we go, man. The more if we got 75 watching,
keeps
right
climbing.
now. Appreciate everybody who clicked in and watched the show. You're awesome, love it.
And remember, go check out the Facebook page, Chronic Wasting Disease.
Disease.
There you go. Dusty and the guys have been doing a great job. Dusty, I don't think I'm going to be able. I saw what you posted. I'm going to try to get up there tomorrow for that, but it's not promising. Trampus, hey, he says Hams is the best. Jesse.
I got a short about hams from last deer season.
Oh,
Trampus.
by the way,
You might wanna go watch
Trampus
that.
was the winner of our North Dakota Farm Bureau Freedom Delivery System, Freedom Seed.
Yes, he
Don't dare
was.
say the real thing, So yeah. Anyway, congrats to Trampus. All right, everybody. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a night too.
Sounds
check the
good.
cows.
Thanks again, Scott.
All right, thank
Clay,
you guys.
I'll
Appreciate
be listening tomorrow when you're on, buddy.
All right, catch you later.
See you guys. Thanks, everybody.